All right, thanks for joining us for our weekly press conference with head coach Lance Taylor. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach on the Michigan State game, and then looking forward to this weekend's game against North Texas.
I think we learned a lot about ourselves on Friday night, a lot about our team, a lot about the players and coaches, some positive things that we can grow and build on, also some things that we've got to get cleaned up and corrected. In college football now, the first time you play somebody else is a real game. You don't have preseason games to warm up. But the thing I was proud of in that game was we were disappointed in the result, obviously, but proud of the fight for 60 minutes. They never gave up, never gave in. The biggest thing this week is growing and improving. I think we shut them out in the second half. We showed some good things, which could give us some momentum and confidence. A lot of things to build on that we did. Had those big plays, splash plays, but not enough consistency to win a football game. I think the things that we must improve on, that we have to get better at this week, offensively, run game and protection, it starts up front. We have to be able to finish drives, and then we had too many sacks and negative plays to be able to sustain drives and really score points. On the defensive side of the ball, we have to be better, especially in the run game, especially first and second down to get to third and long so that our pass rushers can be able to get after the quarterback. And then we've had too many missed tackles and block destruction. On special teams, the areas we have to get better in, our returners have to do a much better job, one, decision-making, but then also catching and fielding the balls. And then when we have opportunities, we have to score points in special teams. I say all of that, those things that we need to get better at, but I was proud of, one, how our guys responded in the second half, two, how their mentality and mindset after the game, and how they've been this week. We had a great day of practice today. They came in yesterday and on Sunday and really attacked the film. They wanted to see the ways that we can get better, and we've got to have a great week of preparation. Great practice today. It's a good challenge and opportunity for us this week for our first home game against a really good North Texas team. We're excited to be able to come home and play in front of our fans. I've talked about our home game atmosphere, how much our home crowd means to us, how much energy and how much we feed off of that energy. We need everybody here. It's a whiteout. We've got a concert. There's a lot of things going on this campus with some special things happening. But we all want you guys to be in Waldo cheering and supporting the Broncos when we kick it off at 3:30. This is a great challenge against a really good North Texas team who was bowl eligible. They were number 3 in the country in offense last year, and they score points in bunches. So we're going to have to play our best and bring our best this weekend.
Defensively, you've seen the emergence of a couple of guys as starters this year in the first game, and with August Johannesmeyer and Joey Pope, two guys that were mainly special teams players up until this season. What have you seen from the growth of those two? And then obviously the defensive line was really causing havoc there, especially in the second half.
Yeah, we in our starting offense and defensive lineup, we had 18 new starters out of 22. It's been well noted the number of transfers that we brought in, the number of new faces that we've had in the program, along with a new defensive scheme, new defensive coordinator, and new defensive staff. You mentioned a couple of guys who've been in the program who elevated their role. They haven't been starters; they've been special teams guys. August being one of them, Joey Pope being another. We talk about earn, not given. That's been one of our mottos and on our T-shirts as we've worked out and trained all summer. And really, those two guys embrace that. Both of those guys have really earned the opportunity. I mean, August started at D-line for us, and then Joey started at safety for us. And you saw Joey make some really big plays. I thought August played really well. His plays aren't splash plays, but he played really consistently. He did his job, which is what we're asking him to do. He doesn't show up as much in the stat sheet, but he did everything that we asked him to do. Really pleased with how he played, especially game one as a starter, and he's continuing to come along. But we've got a lot of new faces, and I think that's, when you go into game one, haven't played against another opponent, you've got 18 out of 22 new starters. We knew that there were going to be some growing pains. There's no excuse. We've got to play better. I have to coach better, be ready for our opportunity, and we had opportunities in that game, even in the first half against Michigan State. We just didn't capitalize on those opportunities, which allows you to get behind 23-0, and then you start pressing to make plays. But I thought we settled down. We settled in, and we came out in the second half and played much better, and, especially defensively, to shut them out in the second half, to get some turnovers, to get a pick six, really helped, get us some confidence going into this week.
Matt Ayler with MLive. Obviously you said your plan was to play both quarterbacks, and I wanted to know what your plan is. Knowing what they each brought to the table, both move the football for you. What's your plan entering week 2 with those two quarterbacks?
Yes, Matt, we'll play both of them again this game. I thought, if you watched the game and saw both of those quarterbacks, I mean, Brady, first drive of the game, takes us right down the field, makes some really nice throws. We had an opportunity. We got in the fringe area and really should have gotten points on that drive. We were a little bit on the fringe outside of, Palmer's range. I didn't want to stretch it for the first field goal of the year and get us in a negative situation, so we go for it. We were in the green in terms of the book and going for it, so we made an aggressive call there. We wanted to go score points early in the game. We did not, and but we moved the ball down the field. In the second half, we start Brock, and he goes right down the field just the same. And, they both showed the ability to operate the offense efficiently and move the ball. They did it in different ways. And I think that everybody, if you watch that game, really saw that they have the ability to play for us. Now, how much or what depends on the week. It depends on our game plan. It depends on what we have in the game plan. And then also it depends on how they play. At some point, we will choose a starter and stick with it, but right now, and as long as they continue to play well and neither of them are negatively affected by us trading in and out, we're going to continue to play two quarterbacks.
Do you see a similar type of, like, you start Brady and then you go to Brock later? I mean, is it going to vary?
Yep. Great question. Honestly, Matt, to be honest with you, we had a plan to get Brock in earlier in the game. The way the flow of the game went and us not having many plays or possessions after that first drive, we decided to leave Brady in because of the flow of the game, and so we had plans to get Brock in earlier. I would like to get Brock in earlier this game. We're gonna start Brady, but Brock needs to come in the game earlier and more often.
And then you kind of touched on it, but you were able to land the explosives. I mean, deep balls down the field. Brock got a really nice run for you up the middle on a 3rd and 9. But things got kind of stagnant near the red area. Is there anything, what do you attribute to that? Is there anything that you're really honing in on practice this week to kind of shore up just the kind of stagnant where you were at, kind of is it in the area of the red area and stuff?
Yeah, I think it's really simple. We have to eliminate sacks and TFLs. We didn't do very well up front. We have to be better up front in our offensive line, and we have to make sure, from a coach's standpoint, that we call things that we feel really good about that aren't going to allow those negative or TFL plays. I think we had way too many of those with opportunities to score, and that gets you behind the sticks. And no offense, I know, it operates well behind the sticks, but I mean, we had 5 explosive plays in the game, which is really, really good. The first play of the game is an explosive play to Talik Williams down the sideline. I mean, it's a great throw and catch against, really tight coverage. I mean, it's exactly the way you want to start the game. We just were not able to finish the drive because we get down in the fringe, and 2nd and 10, we have a negative run play, which gets us, in long yardage, and then, we weren't able to get it on 3rd and 4th down. So we have to be able to, be efficient with our offense and eliminate those negative plays, whether they're in the run game or the pass game. And that starts up front, but it also starts with, how we manage the game as coaches.
And then injuries. I saw Adam Vandervest leave the game. Just who do you see anybody not being available for this game on Saturday?
No, nobody. We came out of the game with no injuries. Vandy came back in the game, which was great to see. Really just, landed on his knee wrong. He came in the game, played well after he came in, so he'll be back. We came out of this game, really healthy, which was good.
Coach, on the offensive line, I think you played 7 or 8 guys. Were you happy with that rotation, and did anybody stand out on that O-line?
Yeah, we did play 7 or 8 guys. I think really trying to find the right combination. I think our starting 5 are our starting 5, but we've also got 2 or 3 guys that can come in and play good minutes for us in that group. Raheem Anderson, he came in, he played well. I thought Zach Vaughn at tackle came in and played well. He probably will play more this year or this week. Zach Vaughn has earned the right to play more. Raheem has earned the right to play more, and then Hunter Whiteneck. And so there will be a good rotation. If you looked at us the last 3 years, the last two seasons, we've rotated 8 or 9 guys every single year. it really is a great way to keep guys fresh. We really like our starting five, but it's also hard to play 60 to 75 plays a game and be at your best and in the fourth quarter when we need it most. So we program those guys several series in the first half to be able to stay fresh and stay ready. The other thing it does is it's a long season. The accumulation of playing in the trenches for 12, 13, 14 games really adds up, and so it really allowed us last year to stay healthy up front for a long season and the bowl game.
I know you like your tight end segment. There wasn't a lot of production out of that. Was that just the way the game was going?
It was, early on we had some things that we thought we were going to get Bosma the ball. They took it away defensively. Honestly, they came out defensively and played us different than we anticipated, what we had seen on film. They were very simple and sound up front, not much pressure, especially first and second down. Just played base defense and a lot of quarters. Some single high. First play of the game, they pressure us and play single high. We beat it with a throw down the field, but we saw pressure all game. And so a little bit different. We had to kind of change our game plan. And they took some things away early on that we had programmed to try to get to Boz or the tight ends. And that's the way the game goes. I mean, that's one thing that I will say other than, the pick that Brady threw. We protected the football on the offensive side of the ball, didn't give them extra possessions. We won the turnover battle, and so we've got to continue to do that. Obviously, don't want to throw that pick before the end of half. Can't do that. But honestly, on me there, I probably got to run the football and try to get out of the half. It didn't cost us. They missed a field goal, but it could have cost us, and I've got to be smarter and more efficient there to understand the situation. I decided hey, let's see if we can go get points because we weren't getting the ball coming out of the second half, and we needed something going right there. We were still down 23-0, and so I wanted to try to give us some momentum going into half. We did not. We turned the ball over. Defense, stands tall, and they miss a field goal, so we came out of it with 0 points there.
You got a whole new group of wide receivers, and I thought three really stood out: Talik Williams and Balin Brooks, and then your freshman Avian Chenault. Those three guys were making plays.
Yeah, I think Balin Brooks had a really good game. I mean, when you look at his catches, he had some big production for us, which was great. He's a big body physical receiver, has great ball skills, which you saw that in the game. He made several really big catches. He makes one down the right sideline where the DB's draped all over him, and that was a great contested play catch to Leak. We talked about the first play of the game. He made some big plays for us. And then Avian Chenault is a true freshman, who has really wowed us throughout camp. He started the game for us at wideout, and he's going to continue to play a lot for us, and has really good ball skills.
What can you tell us about North Texas, their offense? What do they like to run? They put 51 on Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at their head coach, Coach Eric Morris, he's always been an offensive coach. I mean, he's always had great offenses. He's always had great offensive production everywhere he's been. He's kind of an air raid guy. He's been with some great, offensive minds. He does a great job with this team. They put up points in bunches. I think they were number 3 in the country last year offensively. They've been top 10, I believe, every year since he's been there. Their first game, they defeated Lamar 51-0. It really starts with the quarterback, and then their skill positions. They love to spread you out. But their quarterback Drew Mestamaker is a really good player. He was not the starter last year, but started in the bowl game. I think he had 462 yards in the bowl game. Played really well against a really good Texas State team in the First Responder Bowl. And then game 1, he is tough. He's a competitor. He can make all the throws, and he also is really good with his legs and moving around in the pocket. And so we're going to have to do a great job defensively. They can move the football. They can be explosive. We want to eliminate those explosive plays, but also, make them earn it and go the distance, not give up freebies. When we get in the red zone, we got to make them kick field goals, not give up touchdowns, and we've got to be able to get after the quarterback with just a normal rush with our 3 down or 4 down fronts without bringing pressure. We've got to make the quarterback get off his spot and make him feel uncomfortable. But he does a great job, even when he gets off his spot, keeping his eyes down the field. And then their wideouts really impress me. I mean, they've got 3 or 4 wideouts who really, they play hard to catch the ball well. They catch the ball well, and they find ways to get open, and the quarterback trusts them. So we've got our work cut out for us. They score a lot of points. Defensively, they brought in a new defensive coordinator from Sam Houston State. He is really good. He's had success everywhere he's been. He brought, most of his staff and a lot of players over. They had a shutout. They beat Lamar 51-0. I think it was the first shutout that they've had in 22 years. I mean, this is a really good football team. I mean, they played Texas State in the First Responders Bowl. Again, can't say enough good things about what Coach Morris has done there. I'm glad we're playing them at home, and we're going to have to bring our best. This is a really good matchup.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.